This is a poem for Pauline Davis, aka the Peace Lady, who died in 2017. If you grew up in Toronto in the 70s, 80s, and I think into the 90s, you might remember the Peace Lady. The poem is called Heaven Help the Roses. Toronto knew her as the Peace Lady. For hours she'd stand athwart an overpass that spanned the parkway through the Don's Ravine, on Steeles, on Finch, on Lawrence, Eglinton. She wore a white robe, her brown hand held high, two fingers telegraphing simply, peace. When driving past, we'd roll the windows down and wave peace back as Dad tapped on the horn. At school, we traded true Peace Lady facts. She lived in the ravine. She kept raccoons. In 1984, Cold War scares raged. In Sunday school, we read When the Wind Blows. Our 7th grade science teacher confessed where he'd want to be if the bomb got dropped on Toronto, directly beneath it. In English, we read Wyndham's Chrysalids. On TV, Muppets sang, Can't We Be Friends? And Max Headroom unearthed radioactive waste. And several times a day, the networks played emergency broadcasts, all as gray and dark as Reagan and Chernenko, null and void as country roads shone in the day after. One night, the evening news displayed how wide a circle of fallout would spread in case an ICBM struck the city's core. That circle's edge, that emptied area code, engulfed our neighborhood. Sleepless that night, I lay and pictured houses on my street, intact but vacant, windowless, still, all marred with carbon shadows, disused toys, the air like a thick green, toxic algae bloom through which survivors shuffled, half melted like plastic dolls melted by kids. Through nervous years, she graced our roads with peace, a figurehead of hope on Toronto's concrete prow. But when the millennium turned, when Cold War turned to market war, and we put movie studios in our pockets, she feared they made her mission a new threat. She got weaponized as mass distraction as drivers courted carnage in pursuit of perfect shots. So she stood down, gave up the call for all to bid farewell to arms. The state of emergency in which we live is not the exception, but the rule, warned Benjamin through 1940s storms. I want the news to tell us Pauline won, that she got a Nobel or the Order of Canada, or has been canonized, made statutory, cast as a stone icon for all guerrilla artists to raise up on all the city's bridges and highways, a figurehead to help us navigate to any year but 1984, a year whose end we're all waiting for, still, as silhouettes burning to windowless walls.